Hello, this is a genuine photograph. The purpose of tagged individuals, why the whole scheme is going out globally, is to put out the light in the world. I'm talking about light as in spiritual information, spiritual energy, and this is what they're trying to repress. There is also, this information was actually given to me. One thing about the people that are doing this, I've noticed, is and it's happened so many times over the years I've been targeted, is they somehow, when they're doing something for the first time to you, they have to let you know that they're going to do it before they do it. And they do this with memes, they do it with car registration plates, they do it with T-shirts, they do it in your dreams, they do it by giving you songs in the lyrics. They do it, but they have to do it. I don't know why. Shout it under your window. They have to do it. Then 2 weeks later, it happens. You're not psychic. And one of the things they told me, besides that they wanted to put out the light, not just my light, the light in the world. They don't like it. I'll explain about that. It's obvious. Another thing that they want to do is get rid of people that care too much. This was communicated to me as well, You care too much. And it was along with the putting out the light. That's what they wanted to do. And this has been communicated to me also. And it's about getting rid of people that care. Why would anyone want to do this? Attack people that care? In their way they see it, it's not just about caring, it's about caring too much. Too much to put pen to paper, too much to complain, too much to highlight things, or get involved in things that they want to control and run. And I do believe that music is one of the things that they want to completely control. So why would you want to get rid of those? Put out the light and get rid of those that care too much, as they say. Because when you operate like they do, caring and light, it's a problem for those who they need their lies and deceit. They survive by lies and deceit. They need the darkness in order to survive and to continue doing that. So their only threat to their survival, because they exist by lies and deceit and all, of course, that has to be covered up, doesn't it? Is by those that care too much to expose it, and by those that have light. Nodes of light, people represent nodes of light, and this will balance the community that they live in, and it'll balance the negativity. This was it's put in different words, but it was in one of the books by Dr. David R. Hawkins, that the positivity in people, the higher states of consciousness, balance the negativity of the world and stop it from self-destructing. These people, I don't say they want to destroy the world, because it is, in a way, their world, the material. A lot of the big corporations are owned by the people that are funding this. A lot of the structures in society are funded by this and directed by this. And one of those is the Order of the Knights of Malta. They're heavily involved in this. And I'll come to all that in a moment. So they have to get rid, in their eyes, of all these people that are causing a problem for them, because they need the darkness to survive, and they don't want people caring too much to expose it, and they don't want all these nodes of light, because other people might start to care, if they come into contact with these people and stuff. And one of the things is, if you look at what's happened in Britain with the Westminster paedophiles and all the stuff that's come out about MPs and Cyril Smith, I remember when that came out, and Jimmy Savile, and it was nobody believed it, but it only takes a few to expose it, a few people that do care, you know. And I think the people that are doing a lot of the deceit and lies, and I'll explain who they told me they are, the perps. Like, they told me they want to put out the light. They told me that I care too much and that they're getting rid of people who care too much. And it's pretty much a while ago. I've talked about it in one of my other audios about sound, how they use sound, and they put stuff in the backings of things, and they use the subliminals, V2K, all that nonsense. And one of the things they communicated with me was, and they've done it twice, was feel the power of the archons. And another time they communicated to me, I mean, these are separate stories in themselves, but for the purpose of this talk, to show what I'm trying to say, they told me that there were archons on another occasion. And when you look at the perpetrators and you look at the type of the behaviour that they're indulging in, and a lot are, I mean, I've said this many times, and they are under some kind of mind control. They're in some kind of trance. Their eyes are glazed. They're not with it, you know. I don't think they're fully aware of what they're doing. So they're being directed, in my opinion, by something. And if you look at the actions, they're designed to lower your energy. They're designed to, like what they said, put out your light, put out your spiritual power, you know. And these things are very carefully designed to do that, to take away your personal power and, you know, stop you from participating in the material world. You know, they interfere with your emails and things like that. And they always, I mean, they've done it with me, and from what I've read online, they do it with others. They attack the very things that you love, the things that raise your energy. That's the key to it, you see. If you love playing golf, they'll attack you on the golf course. Of course, they try and prevent you from going shopping and things like that as well. But it seems to be they just do not like you having a good time. That's the bottom line of it, you know. You're having a good time, and this has particularly happened with me when I've been indulging in things. I don't think that's the right word. When I've been participating in things that have brought me joy or happiness, they have zapped me. They have done things to me, usually to my ears, because the things I enjoy tend to be to do with music. So they zap me in my ears, and I don't know what they're using, but I do shield. But it is so painful. And before I did shield, the attacks were extremely severe, and I've put some of those online. So what they're trying to do, and another interesting thing, is that it would occur at the peak moments of when I was enjoying myself. You know, the zap would come in. So I think it's directed by your brain waves, just say my brain waves. It's like, well, keep down, keep down. They want to keep your energy down. And I'm going to do another Dr. David R. Hawkins quote. He talks about the forbidden high, quote. That is a brilliant term, the forbidden high. And that's what it's all about. They don't want that high on earth. They want to put out the light. And this is to maintain control. When they said to me that they were archons, I'd heard the word, and I mentioned it to somebody, a friend. The friend went, and they went upstairs and they brought a David Icke book down. And I started reading it that night. And it made a lot of sense to me. And then when I started to look at the type of structures that were involved in my targeting, such as law enforcement and councils, and then I started to look into the satanic side of it, where they desecrated my grave and all the other stuff, and it's just hideous, the stuff they do, as you know. And it made perfect sense. He said to me, my friend, he said, well, they're either Satanists or archons. And I said, well, that's what they told me, they were archons. And then I looked into this, and I found that these, through the David Icke books and through some other stuff online, that these fourth dimensional entities, stroke demons, actually work through people. People contact them. I didn't know any of this really, you know, vaguely, but they summon them up. They ask favors for them. And apparently, these demons or fourth dimensional energies, what they require is sensual experiences. So, usually negative. So, the practitioners, in order to get the whatever they want, power in the world, money, control, whatever, they provide these fourth dimensional entities with experiences and bodies. This is quite a big subject, but where it ties into putting out the light, what would these fourth dimensional energies want more than anything to put out the light? They want experiences that are negative, and they want to inhabit people that are having these experiences. This is what they buzz off, you know, the opposite of what we are. So where does this tie in? Well, from the David Icke books and online, I discovered an interview. I think it's by Roland Bernhard, and it's about the elite, and he was an elite banker. I think if you type in his name and Illuminati banker, elite banker, the interview should come up. And he got to right to the top of the pyramid, and in the Illuminati, and he discusses in this interview how they are all Luciferians, they're all Satanists, and that they do sacrifice children. And this ties in with the other stuff that's been exposed about Westminster and the Order of the Knights of Malta have been very prevalent in my targeting. And then I looked into Freemasonry, and I looked into how quite a couple of books on this, and how an initiate is hypnotized, which was very interesting to me because this is what they tried to do with me by subliminals in backing tracks, you see. And they hypnotized the initiate, and they put a demon into the initiate. And that demon is there within the Mason. Yeah. Whether they know about this or not, I don't know. Some Masons know about it, obviously, because they've revealed it in their books, and they've revealed it online. And at the higher levels, the very, very high levels, I discovered that the very high levels, they use themselves as vessels for these demons or fourth dimensional entities to work through. So who's using the demons and who's using the people? You know, the demons are using them, aren't they? They think they're getting power and stuff, money. Well, they are, but like the old saying, at the cost of selling the soul, because then they're not going to realize their true self. Are they doing that? It's all based on materialism. So, and the world, which is illusory if you go really into it. So it makes perfect sense to me that if what is happening is, and it is happening this way, that they are putting out people's light, or attempting to put out the light in the world, that these fourth dimensional energies, these demons, the only way they can come into the world is through a person. They don't have bodies. They can only work through people by gaining possession of bodies. And the rituals actually bring them through into, this is what I've learned, you know, through reading a lot of books. So they can only come through by being these rituals and such. It sort of changes the two. It makes the energy compatible with the fourth dimensional energy, which is similar to when you meditate, and it's another subject in itself. But your brain waves can actually change things. So you can access other realities, you know. I mean, I'm going off topic here. So these fourth dimensional entities, demons, archons, whatever you want to call them, they come through people that way, through these rituals. And this is what I've learned reading the David Icke books and reading other books as well. Too many to mention. And It seems to me that they want a home here in Manchester. Yeah, one of the things they do, this is in Manchester. Yeah, this is just as you got, the MEN Arena is. It's a big arena where they have like big acts on, big music acts. As you just turn around there, they've got this, What is this? So, one of the things I discovered through reading, and I think this was in a Gordon Winterfield book, I read an incredible amount of stuff because I want to know what's going on. And I'm not sure it was by him, but it was definitely by somebody who sheds light on this type of stuff. And one of the things they do with these fourth dimensional entities, these demons, is that in order to have their favors granted in the material world, they give them fame. And that is often in the form of things like this, like statues. This should be a statue of God or Jesus or one of the prophets or something. And what have we got? It's just diabolical. So it's connected to the material world in that a lot of it is funded and directed, should I say, by the Luciferians at the top, the corporates. You got the arena, then you got Sony, Time Warner, you got all the big names and stuff like that, and all the household names like Coca-Cola and stuff, and all the big corporations and stuff, and all that's linked to like the arena, advertising, the music industry at the very top. Which I definitely think they're trying to destroy grassroots music. They're trying to stamp it out, again, to put out the light. They want control of everything. So anyway, back to this. They do these statues, or they might have them on album covers, or all kinds of things, or in magazines, or in artwork, or anything. And that is like a homage to the entity, to thank it. But this also brings them through into our conscious mind, because how many people a day are going to drive past this and see this? And what's people going to say? I know what people that I'm with are going to say. Look at that! What's that? And that's what these demons want. They don't want to be loved. They want to be feared. They want to cause shock and horror and stuff. So anyway, this is very interesting. Actually, I'll leave now. Because I've said what I needed to say. I've been tagged very badly. They've been it sounds like a whoosh, whoosh, that's the one. Whoosh, whoosh, and it goes from one ear around the back of my head and out the other ear. I don't know what it is. I've tried various methods of shielding. Some of it does dampen it somewhat, and my ears start ringing afterwards. It's very painful. They did say they're going to make me stone deaf, so I think this is connected to it. So that I don't know what it is. It's very painful. And what freaks me out is, how do they know in the middle of the night where my ears are and how to go in one ear around the back of my head and out the other ear with this? How do they know how to do that? How can they see me to do that? It's very strange. So I'm going to close now. You may want to look at this. Actually, this is on YouTube, as you can see, and if it's on a channel called New Horizons Extra, and the title is, that you might want to type in, is, it's very, very interesting. Manchester and the Road to Ritual Child Sacrifice. And like some of the David Icke material, it explains how this statue and the origins of it, and how the Rothschilds, I didn't even know that they had they did business in this particular area of Manchester. It's very interesting, and it all ties in. Okay, thank you for listening. God bless.